to show you how to run a Python script from JavaScript in Ubuntu 20.04 and pass data between. To do that, go to a terminal and type node version. Currently I have version 14 installed, and check Python version. I've got version 3.8. If they're not installed yet, check out these videos showing you how. If they are installed, open your IDE. I use VS Code. First, let's create our files. So we're going to use node to run javascript.js, which will then call python.py. And we're going to pass data between as a string, array, and an object. So to run a Python script within JavaScript, we have to use a package called child process. And I'm going to define the data to pass in. So next we create the process. I'm going to call that Python process. To do that, we're going to use the spawner function we defined earlier. The spawner accepts two arguments. The first one is the command it's going to run, and the second one is an array with the location of the Python script to run and the data we're going to pass in. So on the Python process, we're going to set a callback function to trigger when data is returned, and then we're going to log the output. Okay, so that should be enough for the JavaScript file for now. With the Python file, we're going to have to import sys. Sys allows us to have access to the arguments passed in. All right, well, let's see how this works. So to run the file, we'll type node and the name of the script. Okay, data sent to Python script. Send this to Python script. And then we log out data received from Python script. Send this to node process. Okay, so it works properly. So that's it for string. Let's do it for an array. So this will be slightly different because we'll have to stringify the data before we send it. We're going to send it as an array through node, and then Python will return a list, but both have to be stringified. Yep, so stringify it on the way out, parse it on the way back in. So now to work with lists and objects, we're going to have to import two more libraries, JSON and AST. And AST stands for Abstract Syntax Tree, and that'll allow us to parse the incoming data. JSON will allow us to properly format the outgoing data. Okay, so from AST we're going to use literal eval. So we're going to take the stringified array that's passed in as an argument, and we're going to evaluate it using AST. We're then going to take that list and append the data to pass back, and then we're going to print it to standard out, but we'll have to use json.dumps so that it conforms to the JSON standard. Okay, let's try this now. All right, that worked. Data sent to Python script, send this to Python script. Data received from Python script, send this to Python script, send this to node process. Okay, that's working. So now let's do this for an object. On the JavaScript side, everything is the same as if you're sending an array. You have to stringify the data and then parse the incoming data, and that's it. On the Python side, it's largely the same. You have to use AST to parse the string. The only difference is when you're assigning data to the dict in this case, you have to assign it this way. All right, now let's give that a shot. Data sent to Python script. Data received from Python script. All right, it looks like everything worked. So there you have it. That's how you run a Python script from JavaScript and pass data in between. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.